workshops really does help you become a better Rocket League player in terms of mechanics. There's this one, it's called the Ariel practice, I think, and this really, all you do is just stay stagnant in the air, really, and you can basically do whatever you want, use boost, and use your arrow pretty often so that you can test out where your car will be in correspondence to your button inputs. So my weakness right now is basically just to really do backwards aerial, and there's some blackout moments that I would have. By the way, I am a champion player, and I think that my strong points are just typically calling out what's happening in the map, as well as positioning. My mechanics are not exactly too great, but I'm practicing. And I think that this is a really good way to practice where your ball should be, or what you will expect your ball, your car should be when you move your analog stick and your arrow button as well as your boost. So I think this is helpful. I do this maybe just like a minute a day, really. Go back, and then there's this other workshop that is highly recommended by Flump as well as Kevport. These two individuals, they do really well in explaining how you could be a better mechanics player in Rocket League. I am a Champ 1 player, and I think Flump is also a Champ 2 player, while Kevport is a Grandmaster, I believe. And he basically explains that in this map, the Salam map, where that you just have to really go through these pillars just like this, and as you aerial, you cannot use arrow, right? You're just going forward, readjusting, making sure the nose of your car is upwards, okay? And you know, doing this is really helpful. And alright, so going back down, readjusting, and doing the same thing to the other side. Okay. What I really like to do is to feather my boost, but some other people, they just keep boost on and go side by side, which is really hard. Making sure you stabilize your car is very important. I almost messed up there. It's a very good practice session, right before you especially play rank. Okay, next up, I would recommend actually, oh shoot, I would recommend doing backwards aerial here, right in the middle here, just deciding where to go, left or right. I go left. Okay. See, this is kind of my weakness, so that's why I'm doing this pretty often. I'm going to the right. Oh, shoot. Alright, so I hit the wall, it made me reset. Alright. I'll do it again one more time. Alright. Next up, Kevport would recommend really to be in the air and do whatever you want in terms of movement, but not to press on the arrow key at all. So this is actually really hard. So basically don't use arrow and just spin around, see what you can do with it, and go crazy. Oh shoot, it's really hard. There are some blackout moments just because we have a strong habit of using arrow, right? But really, you can do a lot of things. Well, not exactly a lot, but in certain situations, you might be able to do some certain micro adjustments. I just did aerial, by the way, but you can do micro adjustments without arrow, and it might be very important in certain situations. making you a more reliable teammate. Alright, so my next recommendation is to do the freestyle aerials. I think this is called the Cuckseer's twist. No, the Cuckseer twist is the tornado sword twist, so it's this. And just do it across the map, making sure you have some micro readjustments so that you don't hit the pillars. Okay. Now, the hard session that I have a problem with is to do basically backwards aerial and keep at it. Oh shoot! And keep at it while going through these pillars, which is extremely hard in my opinion. But some people make it look so easy. Ooh. See, I already have a problem with it. Too many blackout moments. But that's why I'm here. I don't want to rush it, I just want to make sure I can actually do it. Even if it's really slow. Because if you do it really slow, that means you can improve slowly. Don't have to rush everything. I know there's a lot of players who try to rush their plays, and they should really slow down and make sure you can actually perform it. Alright, so I'm doing much better than before. I'm just gonna do this because I don't think I'm capable of doing that yet. So that's basically where I'm at in terms of training, and I know that's pretty bad actually because I am a Champion 1 player. Maybe this is already expected that I should be doing, because I believe that hitting the ball with the nose of your car while upside down is actually more powerful than compared to when your car is facing forward like this. Yes. Alright, so that's it in terms of practice for me. I do this pretty often, like maybe around 10 minutes a day. I do suggest doing this pretty often as well for you guys, especially if your ranking is below diamond or plat. But I mean, this is just being done to really feel good with your mechanics. You don't really have to do this because, you know, not a lot of people play Rocket League just for the competitiveness. But I do, and I think it's really fun. So that's basically it. I know that these bigger pillars are much more difficult because the gaps between them are smaller compared to the smaller pillars. Some people make it look so easy. Wow, okay. Well, that's it for today's video. I'll be uploading pretty often. Have a great one.